YouTube? I'm back again today for another game review. Today I'm very excited to check out Feelings, the game of emotions from BlackRock Export. This is for 3 to 8 players. Age is 8 plus. It'll take about 30 minutes to play. And in Feelings, aka Feelings, you are going to be given a scenario each round, something that is going to happen to you. And there are going to be 8 different emotions around the board, and you are going to pick which of those emotions you would be most likely to have with the situation happening to you. But that's not all, because you're actually going to have a partner each round, and you're going to try and guess the emotion that your partner would have. This game is all about discussing your emotions if potential situations happen. There's a whole bunch of different emotions, a whole bunch of different situations. This was actually my most anticipated game of S in 2017. So, does it live up to the immense hype that I had for the game? Let's open it up, and I'll tell you what I think. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Feelings, aka Feelings. First and foremost, we have our handy-dandy rule booklet. It's about 6-7 pages, double-sided, full color, full of pictures, illustrations, examples. Very well done, and should have you up and running in no time at all. Big thumbs up on the rule booklet. So in Feelings, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be taking your little score tracker, you're going to be trying to move it all the way up to 24 points here, or you'll play over the course of 2 rounds to see who has the most points at the end of the game. They will obviously be the winner of the game. So, what am I talking about? Let's go over the components. Let's get into the gameplay. So first, you're going to have the board in the middle. It is a double-sided board. On the back, it has just pictures without the numbers, so I guess some people might like that a little bit better. I'm not sure. On the outside, you're going to see 8 different emotions. So right now I have anger, fear, anxiety, disappointment, interest, embarrassment, confidence, and there's a whole bunch of other ones that are included with the game. Shock, mistrust, surprise, compassion, disgust, amusement, irritation, contempt, a whole bunch of different ones with some very interesting artwork. And I will say the artwork is something I'm definitely going to hit on. They have a real heavy emphasis on the nipples with the women, and then, except for her, she's the one exception. But as you can see, like, just really odd art choice with all of the artwork. And then the men on the other hand have like X's for their nipples, which we noticed, and we thought it was really kind of odd. So all the men have X's on their nipples. Really bizarre little thing to note, but anywho, continuing onward. So you're going to have 8 of these set around the outside, and which ones you have set out will depend on the symbols on the card. So we have X's, we have O's, and we have equal signs. And as you can see, X's, equal signs, and O's. Next, you're going to get one of the 3 decks of cards, or if you're like me, you can just mix them all together. The 3 decks of cards are going to correspond with who you're playing with. The green ones will be as a family, the orange ones will be between friends, and the blue ones will be things that take place at school. But honestly, we liked mixing them all up. But I could see, if you're playing with specific groups, why you would put some in and take some out. And these questions, these cards I should say, are going to have 3 different scenarios on them. An obese student in your class is being made fun of. You stumble upon fellow students trying to smash a steak with rocks. One of your friends shows you a knife he carries in his backpack. You're going to pick one of these 3 things when you were the master of questions, and you're going to read it out, and then everyone is going to put down one of their cards that they have expressing their emotion towards that situation. So how you do that, you're going to take one of these 9 cards you have and you're going to play it down. So numbers 1 through 8 will be the emotion that you have. So for instance, let's just pick one and see what we get. Your parents give the nicest presents to your brother who is ill. Well, that would probably make me pretty... I'll be brutally honest, that would probably make me a little bit angry. Yeah, I would probably be angry. Now, obviously, I'm not going to tell people I'm angry. I'm just going to play down this card. Next, what's going to happen is you're going to take these randomizer cards. However many players you have in the game is how many you're going to have. So for right now, we have a 4-player game. You're going to mix these up, and you are going to deal them out to the other people. So everyone would flip it over, and I would see, all right, I am on the same team as this person over here, and now I have to try to predict the emotion that that specific person had about the fact that their brother wants, or the fact that your parents give the nicest presents to your brother who is ill. So I might look over at that person, I may be like, you know what, they're pretty compassionate, so I don't think they're going to be angry like me, which means they would not play this card. So this card is the card that you play if you think that you and your teammate both have the same answer. I think they would actually be, I think they'd be... You know what would they be? I think they'd be embarrassed. Yeah, I think they'd be a little bit embarrassed because it almost seems like that their parents love them more or something like that. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. But anywho, what you're going to do now is you're going to reveal your answer. So everyone is going to reveal their answer. So then now is the point where you explain and you say, I would be angry about this. The fact that they are giving preferential treatment to my brother as opposed to me would make me very angry. And then everyone else is going to explain what their answers are. So everyone is going to be playing down both the top card and the bottom card. Now, you're going to get points if you correctly guess what your teammate said their emotion was. So for instance, if my teammate did actually have a 3, we would both be guaranteed to get 1 point. So you and your teammate would score. If both of you guessed each other correctly, then you get to move up 3 points, which doesn't happen too often, but sometimes it can happen, and it's pretty awesome. Last but not least, you're going to collect all your cards. You're going to collect all of these cards because you will have a new partner each and every round. And then if you want to, you can replace one of the emotions out here with another emotion. So we might, say, let's add amusement and we'll get rid of interest. So we might put that in there. And then you are going to rinse, wash, and repeat with someone else being the master of question, picking one of the answers. You're going to pick out what emotion that would make you feel, and then you get a new partner, and you're going to do that over and over again, either over the course of 2 rounds if you're playing at the lower player counts, or if you want to do that, or until someone is able to get to 24 points, at which point they will be the winner of feelings. And that, in a nutshell, is how the game is played. Alrighty then, feelings from BlackRock Exports. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, game's not going to be for everybody for a variety of different reasons. The first and biggest reason is there is no strategy in this game whatsoever. There's no way to do better, to do worse, aside from I feel that this person is going to feel like this in this particular situation, but really there's no strategy in this game whatsoever, which will be a turnoff to some people. Next, this game is all about talking about your emotions and how you would feel in different situations. And if you have a group that does not want to do that, that doesn't want to express why they felt this way about a different situation, the game is most likely not going to go over too well. It's going to fall flat. Now, I've yet to have that happen, partially because I role model that, hey, this is why I felt this way, because this and because that. But if you do, then the game's going to fall flat. Now, one comment I think a lot of people are going to have with this game is the artwork. And I really do dig the artwork, but man, the artist really loves breast and really loves nipples. And it kind of defeats the purpose of this being a family game, just how much of an emphasis there is on gigantic breasts in this game and just absolutely, boo! Pointing out, popping out of the shirt, nipples. They are all over the place. These nipples that are just bam, 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 bam. And I'm fine with that. I love breasts, I love nipples, but just not generally in my family game where I'm trying to talk about emotions and my feelings. It just seemed a little bit out of place, and I would not be surprised if this gets brought over to America if there's a different art style. Now, some component bugaboo that I had with the game is the fact that I wish the cards were double-sided. I wish the emotion cards were double-sided. Now, I know they have useful information on the back because they have an X here or a circle here, but I feel like you could just as easily put that in the bottom right-hand corner and have double-sided emotions, and you would have double the amount of emotions in the game, which I think would be a good thing. Another con, but not necessarily a con, is the fact that I wish this game had a not suitable for work edition of it, because I feel like adult situations, maybe not even like gross, inappropriate situations, but just adult situations would really be a fantastic addition to this game. And what I'm actually going to start doing, what I had some people do a little bit, was writing down their own questions, and I'm just going to put those into the box, and maybe just have like some little sticky notes in there, and we can kind of just grab the sticky notes. But this is a game sort of like Telestrations or Say Anything, where you can just make up your own questions, and it's just as much fun. Now, that being said, there is a little bit of gaming the game when you do that, because you might know how someone feels about a particular question you're asking, but still, I really enjoy doing that, and 2 of the games I played just evolved down to people just being like, okay, so here's the question I want to ask. How would you feel if this happened? Or how would you feel if this happened? And that really breeds some absolutely fantastic discussion, but that's more talk for the pros. Any other cons that I have with the game? No. Moving on to the pros, Feelings was my most anticipated game of Essen 2017. I'm about to break the fourth wall here. I volunteer at a place called Aaron's House for Grieving Children, which is a place where children who have had loved ones who died go, and we talk about life and feelings and how they're not the only one dealing with this sort of thing. And that's why I was super excited about this game primarily, was was because I was excited to bring this in and have those kids play it. But I also was excited about this game because I have ADHD. I have attention deficit hyper disorder, and I have a very hard time with empathy and understanding other people's emotions and figuring out what emotions other people have. As a result, I'm terrible at this game, but oh my gosh, this game, I love it for what it does. And that's actually why I was really excited about this game, was hearing other people talk about why certain things make them feel certain ways, because I really have a hard time compartmentalizing that, and if you have a hard time compartmentalizing that, this is an absolute must own. But that's a very obscure niche thing. Let's get to the actual recommendation, which yes, this is an absolutely outstanding family game. This is one of those games that I love the fact that there's 3 different sets of cards. So you can play it with kids, you can play it with adults, you can play it with your friends. That's a fantastic concept, and I'm glad they put that in there. Also, this is a great way for kids to learn about emotions and talk about emotions, because talking about emotions with 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-olds is not exactly the easiest thing to do, and this game makes it happen in a fun way. And I'll tell you, I played this with the kids in my class. They love this game, and I love this game because it just let me look into their brains a little bit and see how they think about different situations, and it was absolutely just fascinating. Same thing with adults, but that's mostly just because of my lack of empathy and understanding other people's emotions all the time. But man, I love what this game does. If you can get past the fact that this is a non-strategy game, that there's no strategy whatsoever, that's the word, in this game, then Feelings is absolutely fantastic as a party game. It's absolutely fantastic as a getting to know you game. It's absolutely fantastic as a family game, and I cannot recommend it highly enough. I can't wait until we eventually have a whole bunch of questions that are adult-themed questions. And what I think I'm actually going to do is, I know I hate doing this, and I know some of you are going to cringe, is actually writing in Sharpie marker on the back of these, different emotions, so they will be double-sided. And people are like, I wish this emotion was the game. And I'll be like, yeah, that's a great idea. So I'm just going to put it in right now. I have a feeling by the time I'm done with this copy of the game, which will probably be never, there is going to be just completely Sharpie on stuff and all sorts of different things like that. And if you could not tell, I'm very excited about this game. I was excited about this game going into Essen. Now that I've gotten it back, I've gotten a chance to play it about 5 different times with different diverse groups. It's gone over very well with all the groups. And that's another thing. I was really shocked. I played this before a wedding with 4 other dudes who were not dudes that you'd probably be like, we play games. Like, we play Blood Rage. We get together every once in a while to play Twilight Imperium, or we want to, and do stuff like that. Like, we play heavier stuff, and they still enjoyed this game. There was still a lot of laughs. It's still interesting to hear what other people have to say, and in the end, I'm rambling. Feelings is fantastic. I can't wait until they bring this over to America. Wholeheartedly recommend you check this one out if you're looking in the market for a family game, if you're looking for a party game, or if you're looking for a game just to talk about feelings. Definitely check this one out. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know. I'm going to give you a question, and then you tell me your feelings on it. Your younger cousin always beats his or her parents at chess. Interest? I get that's one of the cards in the game. I guess I would have interest. Actually, that's a card that I need. I don't care. That's an emotion, right? Yeah, I'm going to write that on the back of one of these cards. That's my emotion. I don't care. Let me know in the comments below. Your cousin always beats his or her parents at chess. Do you care? And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.